So I managed to make it back. I did get my silk touch pickaxe. Got this one as well. And I made it back with the bees. I did find out what this technically does, and it's not going to do anything where it is, but I like it for decoration, so I'm going to leave it. I think it's time we upgraded the little homestead area here. Pardon me, guys. Since I don't have a lot of space to make a house outside without kind of destroying the landscape, I'd much rather just go deeper. Though this is no guarantee that I won't still run into the biome outside, as it is very, very large and not flat by any means. And because this is cobbled deep slate, right? Cobbled deep slate, yeah. I may knock out a wall or two further just so that I can put in some lighter colored blocks. Diorite is usually my go-to for this. There's usually a lot of it, easy to find. You can polish it up to look real nice, and it is bright. Of course, I have no diorite here, so or very little. But I really want it. So we're just going to test it out on a wall, show you what that's like. And how much of a difference that makes comparatively. With the exact same lighting, you can see that the shadows on the side aren't quite as dark. It's slight, but it actually makes a huge difference overall. So I do really like it. just gonna go through here, going through these chests to reorganize them a bit, make my things a little easier to find. Can hear the bees coming out, which is great. I honestly really don't like having building supplies and food supplies in the same place. I think this one I'm gonna have for my building supplies, which is basically extra wood, planks, stairs, other things that I might use for building or decorating. For now, this one goes here. I might keep those out. Then I wanted one for something else. Maybe it was for trees. I'll just leave that in there for now. I noticed the azalea trees weren't really growing. And I'm not sure why that is. If they're just too crowded with all of the vines. It's an interesting looking tree. All right. So on the basis that I don't want to destroy the biome in any way, I am also going to make an underground garden. I don't really have much dirt of my own to work with, so I may have to go above ground and get some. Well, now I'll have more lapis lazuli than I could ever hope for. Wonder if we can put flowers on a moss block. I still have the flowers. That means I can grab one of those beehives and put it down there. I'm not sure that honeycomb is food or considered food in Minecraft, but it is in real life, so I'm going to put it in the food chest. For a cactus, I'm not really sure if it can grow on anything other than sand. So we're going to try some dirt. I don't want it too in the way, but I also don't want it very far gone either. Nope, has to be sand. I think that wouldn't be very hard to come by. So let's go find some. Alright, so we know that if we do anything to this sand, it's just going to fall. So I'm going to take from somewhere else. I have another reason for collecting sand too, and that's to get the honey. For anyone who doesn't know, this is essentially your tutorial on how to make potion bottles. I think the next thing I'm going to go on the hunt for is sea turtle eggs. Because how cute would it be to have turtles down there as well? Also, kind of necessary to get the helmet that allows you to breathe longer underwater. And I do want that. Now, I know when I first spawned on this island, I did come across turtles. I don't remember where they were. don't even have any berries on me to help the fox. I want to say there was somewhere over here, but again, I'm not really sure. Obviously, there was somewhere with sand, which doesn't really help, but that's okay. Ba-ba to you too, sheep. It's probably a good idea to get some more wood while I'm up here. Since the azalea trees don't seem to want to grow on their own very fast, and stuff keeps getting in the way. I try not to go for a tall tree that I have to put in a ton of effort to get all of the wood from. Because this is just supposed to be quick. Just while I look for where those turtles were. Now these guys are fun. If you make them mad, they will spit at you. I haven't really done it or played with that aspect of Minecraft. But it is a thing in real life too, so it's not something I wouldn't know anything about. Yeah, over there I can see my floating ship. Which once again doesn't really help me on the location of where I'd seen those turtles prior. I'm never too worried about getting lost. I can always find out where I was, where I've been. There's a lot of beach over here. This might be a good place to look, regardless of where I'd actually seen them. I was talking about pale stone for brightening up a space, but boards, logs, stuff like that will do it as well. Though at some point I would like to build a portal and go to the Nether. There's sea turtles. Now, we We don't really have to wait for them to lay eggs. We can just go take our clippers, get some seagrass. Which is this stuff. Feed it to these turtles, and hopefully they lay their eggs here. Because not all will do that. Sometimes they have a source code that they've spawned somewhere else. I was pretty sure there were a few turtles. Oh, there's the other one. And if they've spawned somewhere else, then they aren't going to lay their eggs nearby. They may not lay eggs at all, which can be super frustrating. Perfect. The more eggs you have, the better. Their eggs do need a certain amount of darkness in order to hatch, and they need the day cycles, usually. And because I'm a little silly, I am also going to leave them with their own eggs so that I'm not being heartless to the poor turtles and taking all of their babies. Totally unnecessary. Just a personal preference. making a little waterway. It's again entirely unnecessary, but again, it's a personal preference. This means that if I run into lava, I am less likely to have to worry about getting burned at least until the point where I die. And for sake of ease, and that was what I was worried about. With the amount of nether portals that I have made over the years, you'd think that I'd remember how many blocks that I do need. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere like 12. But I also want to be able to make an enchantment table over here. I know that requires 2 or 3. And I like to gather everything all in one go, when possible. But that also reminds me, there are times when you come across another portal and it is not in a good location in the nether. So it is almost always beneficial to go in with enough to make another nether portal once you get there. Or, you explore and then you can't find your way back to the portal. That can be a fairly common thing as well. And again, I'd just rather not put myself in that position. Especially when the nether is lakes and lakes and lakes of lava majority of the time. Or at least it used to be. I know there's a lot more to it now. But still better to be prepared. So I should now have more than enough. And I know roughly where I am in order to get myself back. I've got the sand that I wanted for that cactus and to use for bottles. Though it's not a lot of sand, I suppose. It's enough. Yeah, just 55 blocks, but that's enough. There's an azalea tree there. And there too. And yes, I already can't remember where I was. And luckily it doesn't matter because I found it. Though I think it's on the other side. Maybe. Or maybe it's not. Though I was thinking it was another one. But that's fine. Alright, so first we'll get that sand going. I actually want to go back there because to have those day and night cycles, the best thing that we can do for these turtle eggs is have them where the elements are. So to make sure that these baby turtles don't get killed, I'm going to immediately take out these magma blocks. Now back when I first started playing, I recall magma blocks tended to only activate when they were near lava, but that doesn't seem to be much the case anymore. They got a baby. Oh, they've got two babies. They're so cute. Alright. So another thing to note is that it is important to not step all over the eggs because you can crack and break them, which then defeats the point because they will not hatch at that point. Alright. Now those are done. I don't want to put the cactus near them for the same reason that I took out the magma blocks. I want to make sure that they have, as safe as possible, a place to be. Plus, cacti don't need water. So, we're just going to stay right here in this random spot and wait for it to grow. Now we're going to go make some bottles so that we can empty out these hives. I don't want to put all my sand in that venture, as it were. I'd like to keep some for just random other things. Same with sugarcane. So that's something else that I guess it requires dirt. As in dirt will work for it as well. And again, that's probably something that is so easy and peaceful, but probably requires to have a space for a campfire underneath it. Something to keep in mind. Another thing is armor. I've been foregoing armor, not for any particular reason. I just haven't been too worried about falling. But now that I'm going to go into the Nether, I think it is a good idea. I am not too worried about bringing trees or anything. I used to bring trees and dirt before they added more stuff, I guess, as it were, to more biomes. Before they added more biomes, I would always bring extra soil and trees. Then I would never be without tools. It was just a smart idea. In that same sense, I'm going to leave my extra diamond pickaxes behind. I'm going to leave behind any unnecessary tools. At least anything that I don't want to lose. Right. Personally, I don't want my portal to be super, super close, but I don't want it to be too far away either. So, I think I will just make it right here. I don't think that that's big enough. Yeah, it's not. And voila, we have our portal. Into the nether we go. So luckily it's put us right into one of these biomes. Unfortunately, it has kind of put us right on the edge of a lava lake, but that's not too bad. What's that? Oh, that's just a piglin. So first thing I'm going to do is set down some torches. It's the one key to not getting lost in the nether. My personal experience, especially if you've forgotten to turn on your coordinates. These guys will attack you if you're not on peaceful. Otherwise, they don't really care much. That's a good sign. Good sign of what, you might ask? Good sign of seeing the other kinds of trees. There are 2 biomes to that. But I'm not seeing any. At least not yet. I don't think I intend to explore this too far just yet, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, I can see another biome over there. See one of our lava trekking buddies down there. I can't tell if that is a ruined fortress or not. I would like to go over there. But in order to go over there, I need enough material to make it across the lake. Luckily, material is not hard to come by. Well, I've got a couple 64 blocks worth. I'm going to go from my torch and just go down. Ideally, I just make I'd just rather make my own set of stairs. Because then the route is very clear as opposed to trying to utilize the landscape. Alright, now this is soul sand, so it's one of those things that, again, for anyone who doesn't know, you walk across the wrong type of it, and so you've got the soul sand, and then you've got soul soil. The soul soil itself, is it? No, I thought it was the soul sand. Yeah, soul sand, you walk across it more slowly. It's a force thing. The only way to get around it is by building something on top of it or removing it entirely. Whatever you're actually able to do. I do make sure to put these on top of blocks and not on the sides as best I can. This helps with, ooh, it is a fortress. This helps with visibility. And you do have to be careful because these do have lava on them sometimes, or lava will spill out from somewhere else onto the ruin, and the effect is essentially the same. This does appear to be a very small ruin from what I can see. Anytime there's a section that's just straight up against a wall like this, I always like to dig it out a little bit. There's no real reason, I suppose, just one of those things I like to check. Alright, so we know that there's going to be this mob here when we do decide to turn off peaceful, but for the moment I'm not too worried about it. That large basalt tower makes me think of the basalt biome that they typically have here. Now it is very, very large and has basically a ton of that stacked. If ever that's what you're aiming to do, is grab or build that. I can't see too much also from over there, so let's take my leaf. these can be some pretty cool places to explore. There's often a fair amount to them, and like I said, it looked really small when I first looked into it, but yeah, it's a lot bigger than it initially looked. I'll put one here, and like this. Then I know where I've come from and the directions that lead more out. Glowstone can be the good reason to bring a Silk Touch pickaxe. Whoops. I'm not going to take too much because I still like it for lighting the way. The other thing about the Nether is it's great for getting in your enchanting levels. Quartz always gets you a lot. Right, so one here, one here, one here, one here. We're just gonna make a run to the end of this one. Can't remember what that is. If it's just giant mushroom or quartz block or something else. So this can be the reason for why I typically like to break through these empty walls. There may not be anything in here. And we can see the end of the line with that. Nothing significant. And in that one there is lava, so we're going to close that one. cool little place, but nothing really to it. It's not unexpected, honestly. I personally like to do that just to check if there's a lake above there or if it was just the one source block. In this case, it was just the one, which is kind of nice. So as we can see, these ruins are fairly extensive, though we haven't really found anything yet. I haven't looked below, which is usually where you find more of your stuff. Like this one's got I guess it's nothing. So I'll just put this back. A lot of the time there is sections below. Not always, but definitely a lot of the time. This spot looks like that's all that there is to this one. I know there's pieces I haven't explored through here yet. They may just be detached to the point where I can't reach them, or I actually think this is the one I was looking at. So just for fun, we're going to see if there's anything further down. Good chance there isn't, but this can be a great way to mine nether brick if that's what you're after, instead of making it yourself. Though I do recommend you do this carefully, as this is what you have to look forward to if you do not. It doesn't seem like there's anything in the middle of this one. And sometimes there is, but this time there is not. If you find the really big ones that have the actual castles in them, they do have a lot of chests. Oftentimes those ones will have like the really good nether stuff that you can't find. Sometimes they'll have netherite in them. But you can just never be too sure. Alright, well, I think I'm going to go back. I will say another thing that you want to be able to find through here is nether wart. So it's not these coral looking plants, but they look like some kind of fungus, really. And you only ever find them growing on soul sand. I know I said I was going to head back, but I just want to have one quick look to see if I can see any nether wart, because it is something I like to be able to grow. But it appears that'll require further exploration than I'm willing to do here at the moment. And now I can just follow my trail of torches. And right back to the nether portal. The other thing is, you don't want glowstone to be too close to your portal, or it draws in animals and villagers and all sorts of things. And that goes on both sides too. You'll have stuff cross through your portal too, if you put glowstone really close to it. So the less glowstone near my portal on either side, the better. Uh, Alright, and plants are coming along nicely. Alright, well, I think this is where I'm going to leave it for now. Until next time.